Okay, good evening everyone and welcome to the first episode of 2017 of the Mr. Taxman Business Show. I'm delighted to be joined by, I guess, my co-host this evening, Adam Maurice. Adam,
thank you.
Got a promotion for 2017?
Promotion?
Yeah, from the back end of
being absolutely.
The sort of systems director.
Absolutely, thank you very much. I'm very pleased to be here in front of everybody.
Yeah, so just to let you guys know, the format of the Mr. Taxman business shows moving forward are going to be held once a month rather than once a week. Adam's going to be here every month, giving us insights into business and also some ongoings in what's happening within Fusion Consulting. And we're going to have a different guest every month in different industries, be it legal, marketing and other professionals, discussing different topics every week, with the main themes being around business advisory, taxation and social media. If you have any questions, by all means comment, get involved, because there's going to be an amazing prize, and we're going to kick off 2017 with an absolutely amazing prize this year, and our guest, when we introduce her, will talk to us about that prize. So the questions can be anything: tax, business related, marketing. If you're a business owner out there, let us know your questions. Obviously it's the tax season coming up, the tax deadline only a few days, so if you have any tax questions for me, let me know, and the best question at the end of the show will be awarded the prize. So let us know and get your questions here. So Adam, how's 2017 kicked off for Fusion?
Oh my God, it has been very, very busy. So much tax stuff going on, lots of stuff on the social media side. We're really booked up. It's been a really, really crazy month. I think it's only going to get busier over the next few days till the tax deadline is over.
Brilliant. And obviously on your side, on the business advisory side, seeing your clients early on in 2017, what's a common theme that you've found, if you can?
I guess really I've tried to see pretty much all my clients over January, and it's really been about planning. You know, working out what the kind of key objectives are over the next 12 months, working out some of the things that maybe didn't get dealt with at the end of 2016, putting together a plan, budgets, forecasting, just to try and make sure everyone's got a plan of what they need to do this year.
Very important. Just to let you guys know, some of the topics we'll be discussing this evening is around law. We will be moving on to discuss about CRM, systems and automation. We're also going to be discussing the self-assessment and the impending tax deadline, and the importance of understanding your financial statements within business. So a lot going on. Hopefully you can gauge a lot of interesting content. So I think now's the time to bring out our special guest this evening. So I'd like to welcome Bhavini Kalaria from the London Law Practice. Here she comes.
Hello.
Bhavini, welcome to the Mr. Taxman Business Show.
Thank you for having me.
No problem. So if you just want to let the viewers know, I guess, a bit about the London Law Practice and what the main services that you offer are.
Okay, so as Mitch said, I'm Bhavini Kalaria of the London Law Practice, and I'm the Managing Director there. What we do is provide commercial services to businesses, commercial legal services to businesses. We cover all sorts of different areas: commercial, corporate, employment, HR, immigration, dispute resolution, and more. And fitting in with what Fusion do, a bit of tax planning around kind of your estate and estate planning. So those are the legal areas that we cover. We also have a slightly different business model, which I think we're going to speak about.
Yeah, so if we just want to touch upon that, because that's what really intrigues me and I feel differentiates the London Law Practice from a lot of traditional firms out there. So do you just want to explain a bit to everyone about your business model?
Okay, so the London Law Practice is what's known as practice, works from wherever they need to work from. We have a case management system that allows them to be much more flexible in their working habits. We also have a pretty much freelance model. We have a number of paid employed staff, but then we also have a majority freelance solicitor model. And that ties in with the way that we're delivering our legal service. It means that we can be much better with understanding what a customer or client wants and package a piece of work up for them. It also means that we can be kind of a bit more creative around the way that we're delivering our legal services. And also on the solicitor side, there are lots of benefits. There are a number of freelance solicitor models out there already, but what we do, which is quite different, and I think we've spoken about this, is have an incentive scheme in place. It means that anyone who's joining is not just joining for a fee share, and there's a lack of security around that sometimes for solicitors. It means that they're buying into a practice and a growth vision for the firm. So it kind of, from my point of view, it's a much more collaborative way of working than maybe some other firms and even freelance solicitor practices might be doing.
Yeah, I guess what sort of age or stage of a career would a solicitor look at in terms of joining a business model like that, rather than working their way up within an established practice and then growing the clientele? Would they need to have a following in order to come into the London law practice?
I think it's a very interesting question, because it's one I've been thinking about recently. We say, you know, at a minimum, a solicitor needs to be 3 years qualified, because normally if you set up as a sole practitioner, you need to have 3 years behind you before you do that. And that means from a supervision point of view, you have less, there's less to worry about. Having said that, we took on a newly qualified solicitor recently, just because I think from a talent point of view, that solicitor is going to be very good. You can see that there are traits that certain solicitors will have, which is the kind of entrepreneurial side or kind of thinking about the client, and there might be an exception, but actually it comes back to what are people are looking for. So there might be a stage in life where you're thinking, actually, I'm winding down my practice, I want to find a way of working more flexibly, or I want to build a client base.
Okay, yeah, that's great. So some comments here. Anu has said wealth management needs a spot. So if you know any good wealth manager, let us know and we can put that into our editor. And of course today we're looking for your questions, so you can gain some business advice, tax advice, legal advice. Let us know your questions, and there's going to be a prize for the best question. So Bhavini, do you want to announce your prize that you're going to hand away?
So this is very exciting. We've the prize for the first episode of Mitch the Taxman's 2017 business show is a tour of the Houses of Parliament. You can't see it here, with afternoon tea. So do just get in touch and we'll book it for you. And then you'll get also lots of very exciting merchandise, which includes our new brochure, dice, and some playing cards.
Playing cards.
Which is even more fun.
Is Laura gamble? I don't know.
Sometimes. But if you don't take a risk.
Very good, very good.
Very good. So Adam, what do you think of the London law business model?
I think it's very good. Obviously, we've been speaking for the last year and a half since Fusion has been set up, and you know, we've worked on a number of deals together. I think that for you to be able to scale the business by bringing in lots of other different expertise, you know, different parts of law, having that kind of broad skill set, I think is really good. It makes you obviously able to deal with, you know, all the different aspects of law. So it's really good.
Okay, so thanks for that introduction, and if anyone needs any legal assistance, we've got Bhavini's details. They're also on one of the business cards that you'll be winning. Yeah, feel free to join in. So let's move on. Let's talk about our topics today. So we are going to talk about CRMs and the importance of those and some issues around those. So Adam, do you just want to explain what a CRM is?
Yeah, so a CRM basically stands for Customer Relationship Management, so Customer Relationship Management System. You know, all businesses, certainly in today's world, you know, everyone's after the same customers, and you know, really keeping in touch, managing the client relationship, making sure that you're being proactive with your customers, What a CRM allows you to do is basically manage that relationship. So, track all the important customers' details, track when you're speaking to them, tracking the emails you're sending to them, emails you received, any opportunities that you've got with them, how likely you are to win a deal, all those kind of things. But really, that's the simple stuff. Where it gets a bit more complicated and a lot more useful is when you build kind of automated things that happen. So, for example, when you go and see somebody, I know we do this at Fusion. When we go and meet someone either at a networking event or we have a lead referral, we'll enter them into our CRM, and then they have the option of receiving, a copy of their email shots. They get added to a database where we know what kind of things they're interested in, whether it's business, tax, social media, or IT, and then we can tailor the kind of information that we send to them. So it's not always spam. It's something that's a bit more useful. And then that can link in with when we do events. But then in my experience, having that information about a customer, all the way from the first contact all the way to meetings and calls, notes, all those kind of things. As a company grows, it's very important to have that information.
Yeah.
And that's what CRM does.
Yeah, and I think it's also just touching upon that and getting down as much information as possible, just talking about the sales and the networking side, is monitoring where your clients and leads have come from. And you can track all that via the CRM and then know who to spend more time with, where your best leads are coming from. Do you have a bespoke CRM or have you got a standard one off the shelf?
So the way that we've worked, and I think it's a really important part of what any business does. So law firms you can get off the shelf case management systems. We have a case management system that happens to be one that can be used kind of widely and is on the cloud. And that allows you to pick out certain information and analyze it. But certainly I think having a system in place that can show where your work is coming from is extremely important. Because without that, you can't really analyse where you want to put your time and effort in marketing. You can't really work out where the trends are in kind of new work coming in. You can't really work out what the most cost-effective work for you to do is.
I think that's right. I mean, a lot of the people that I speak to have never really done any kind of analysis on where they get their clients from, or return on investment of marketing. If they're going to run an event, they want to be able to track, saying, okay, if we spent £2,000 on an event, how much money did we actually generate from running that event before we do the next one? And a CRM and associated systems like that allow you to do that kind of analysis, which ultimately is very difficult to do just on a spreadsheet.
Yeah.
I see we've got a question here.
Yeah, some good CRM info there. And we'll come back to CRM. So a few comments and just waves to people who are watching. Let us know you're watching. There's a great prize to be won. The prize is? It's
a tour of the Houses of Parliament and afternoon tea. I think it's very topical.
Bhavini.
Yeah.
No. for two. Okay. So whoever gets the best question in will win a tour of the House of Parliament followed by an afternoon tea. Get your questions in. So Paris Christophe says, great to see you back, guys. Looking forward to some great tax advice. Okay, hang on in there, we'll get to the tax. And Kishan Bhatt, I'm not sure if you know him, but he says, hello.
Exclamation mark.
Yeah. Great tuning in again, Mitch. Adam's here as well, mate.
Thanks.
Question for Adam, here you go. Question for Adam and Bhavini. How do you see the role of technology in law and its development?
Wow.
So, should I start with that?
Go for it, yeah.
Okay. So, I think this is something that we can probably both add because of the fact that
we've got a bit of technology in law.
Yeah,
so,
we've got a bit of technology in law. I mean, certainly I can talk about the trends in legal services. It's clear that there are lots of technology is playing a huge amount in changing the way that legal services are being delivered. It means that people who weren't buying legal services before are being able to access them. So you can download documents, you can get things online, you can find information. So really, how is technology changing the law? I think it means that lawyers have to understand that their role has become much more based on high value advice. There needs to be some added value to what we're doing, because technology really does mean that not only are be able to find information and access legal services much better than people did even 6-7 years ago, but also that the way that it's being delivered by solicitors has completely changed.
Yeah.
So that means that on both the supply and demand side, you've got pressures on pricing and all sorts of things. People are looking for more value for money. So that's where I think technology plays a part, but also I think it helps in delivering a better value service.
Absolutely. I mean, one of the other things that's very new is IBM's Watson. I don't know if you've seen anything to do with that. IBM's Watson is an artificial intelligence service which has been developed by IBM, and that allows this piece of technology, which they call Watson, to scour millions and millions and millions of reference material, and you can ask a question to IBM Watson in natural language and get an answer back, which is based on it reading and understanding a load of legal precedents and texts. So I think that that is obviously a great reference tool for lawyers, as it is at the moment, and I know that some firms are starting to use that. Again, with all types of technology, it starts off very, very expensive until it's widely utilised. But the price of that will come down, and I think that going forward over the next few years, artificial intelligence, virtual reality, all those types of things will play a big part in all sectors.
Yeah.
There's a lot to
Let
come.
me just add a little bit there, because I think that is clearly a trajectory for any service business. I think artificial intelligence will play a part in it, but I think there is that low tech still here, which I think is having a fundamental effect in the way professional services are being delivered and what people are expecting. And I think that as lawyers, we should be very mindful of it. So in 5 to 10 years' time, what is it that the practice should be doing in developing products or services and delivery to be able to embrace what we've currently got, to be able to maximise that. And I think it's also comes back to this issue about where's the high value advice. So the work that you're doing in tax, for example, it's a high value product still.
Yeah, for sure. You're going to have the compliance pieces and the form filling and the areas of automation, which we'll come on to, but high level advisory work is always going to be, we'll need the individual, it will need to be written down. So
a robot may steal your job one day.
Well, let's hope so. Let's hope so. Okay, we've got a few more comments. So Elise De La Fuente says she's listening to our accountants. So that must be us. So thanks Elise for the support. And remember guys, get your questions in. So far, Kishan is leading the way. We don't want to give him the prize. So let's get some more comments in because there's a lovely tour of Parliament and afternoon tea. So moving on, we just touched upon the importance of CRMs, and let's just dwell on automation and the importance for a business owner to try and automate some of the laborious things within a business, so they can focus on running their business and getting in more sales.
Yeah, I mean, I in a previous business, I subscribed to the concept of shift down, which basically meant that everybody from the top senior management all the way down to the bottom had to shift their workload downwards. So from the directors to the management to junior management to team leaders downwards. And I think that automation is a key part of that. So we were touching upon CRM just now, but things like, for example, credit control, which some businesses spend a hell of a lot of money on. These days there are lots and lots of services and systems to allow you to automate those types of tasks. So for example, most account systems now will allow you to automate the sending of invoices and reminders and statements, with triggers if something's not paid in 30 days, 45 days, 60 days. There's been a massive surge in repeat business, so repeat services, recurring services, and a lot of those services are now being collected automatically by either credit card or direct debit. So we see that as a major bonus as well, because it means that people, cash is king, especially for small businesses, and being able to collect money automatically through direct debit and credit card, fairly low to medium value, will just automate the process of a credit controller. I know some of our clients have got 1, 2, 3 people in their credit control department. You know, my view is most of that can be automated these days. I mean, Bhavini, I don't know what you think about that.
I think.
Well, actually, people always pay lawyers, so it's always up front, isn't it?
No, I think that there's a lot of value in that. Running a law firm is like running any other business. You still need to be careful about your cash flow, and certainly I think you're much more mindful of it. Actually.
Well, you can always dip into the client account. So,
we don't. But then we work with fixed fees. We work with getting funds up front. But we did automate part of it recently because we work on a retainer basis, and having direct debit payments come in monthly makes it much easier. My view is that it has to be much better from a compliance point of view to work in that way, because then it's much easier to reconcile your accounts. You know exactly what's coming in, and therefore, even from a kind of from a legal point of view, and an SRA point of view, we need to make sure that we're able to reconcile quickly and easily, and it's easy to see. So, from my point of view, actually, the whole system works much better when you have upfront payments, fixed fees, and retainers, and you can automate that and recover much better.
Yeah, very important. So if you need more advice on that, then speak to Adam and get your questions in. We're not getting that many questions, so get your questions on anything law, tax, or business related, and you win what do we win?
We win a tour of the House of Parliament and afternoon tea.
Okay. So let's try and attract more questions by talking a bit about tax. Obviously we've got only 5 days to go until the self-assessment deadline. So have you filed your tax return?
I think mine is done.
Have you done yours?
of course I have.
Yeah, I've done mine. So those of you who haven't done yours, make sure you contact us. And I just wanted to touch upon a couple of facts in terms of when one needs to do a self-assessment, because people are unaware, and we've particularly seen a number of landlords come forward to us and say, oh, I didn't realise I had to do a self-assessment because my income for my property was X. And the guidance actually says that if you're earning between £2,500 and £10,000 on your rental income, then you need to do a self-assessment. If you're earning £10,000 before expenses, then you need to do a self-assessment on your rental properties. So this is something that often gets missed. A number of landlords from all around the world have contacted us, and we're helping them file their self-assessments, bring them up to date via the Let Property campaign, which is still going on. It's a disclosure available to any landlord who has never submitted their tax returns. A couple more points on the tax returns. If you or your partner earn above £50,000 and are in receipt of child benefit, you need to do a self-assessment and pay that tax back. So either you do the self-assessment or you cancel your child benefit if you're earning circa 60k a year, because it may not be worth it. So that's also a point. So get your self-assessments done. £100 penalty. Back in the day, you used to be able to appeal that penalty if you had no tax to pay, but now they're not accepting that, so you will get an automatic £100 penalty. So that's self-assessment. You guys got any points on self-assessment?
You got to do it.
Yeah.
Yes, you got to do it.
Okay, just wanted to throw that in there with 5 days. I shouldn't be here doing this. I should be doing the tax returns. Luckily, we're very efficient at Fusion, and our clients are nearly all sorted. So that's fine. Get your questions in. Let's see who's joining us. Let's see who's logged in live. Gordy, waiting for your question. Waiting for it. Get your question in. Adam's here.
I've got a question on the tax side.
Yes, go on.
If I can ask one.
Yeah, you can ask Adam.
And this kind of we might still have a chat. So, if for example you've got clients that are based here and you've got clients that are based abroad.
Yeah.
And when it comes to self-assessment, I guess there are questions about when people are living abroad. You have to make assessments about whether they're residing there, whether they're citizens, and so. Can you explain a little bit about that? So
yeah, it wasn't a planted question. I just want to put it out there. It wasn't a planted question. Yeah, I guess in terms of a number of days you spend in the UK or a foreign place, there's now a piece of legislation called the Statutory Residency Test. So that was brought in 2013, and that now looks at a number of automatic tests to see if you're resident in one country or not. So if you spend 183 days in the UK, you're automatically resident. If you're automatically resident and domiciled means if you were born in the UK or if your mother or father, you can acquire their domicile. But if let's say you were born in the UK and you're taxed on your worldwide income, if you're non-domiciled and you're a UK resident, you can elect to only be taxed on your foreign to your UK income and not your foreign earnings. But there's a whole raft of legislation
and they
around
have the
that.
same deadlines. And
Yeah, of course. Yeah, it has the same deadlines. Issues that we have is people who are coming back into the UK and looking at, because that will split a tax year, will they be taxed on their income up until they come to the UK, or their overall income for the whole tax year? So then you've got to look at what's called split year treatment. But no, it's very interesting, and we do a lot of work with non-domiciliary individuals.
yeah, because we get questions from time to time when people are looking to buy kind of in the UK, and they're kind of they might be they might be moving around a lot, or they just have a portfolio that extends beyond the UK, and then they would get questions. We would get questions on the tax side, but obviously we're doing the legal part of it, and therefore it's interesting to know because.
Well, the thing is, there's a number of different taxes you've got to consider. You've got to consider all the income tax, stamp duty, inheritance tax is a big one for that typical type of a client. If they've got if they're not domiciled but they have a non-domiciled spouse, there's again different tax implications on that situation. And then of course the whole residency situation and remitting funds into the UK, that's another big area.
Capital.
So Adam knows all about it. He's just going to talk now
We
about...
had a great trip to the UAE last October where I heard Mitch talk for 6 days solid about clean capital and non-dom and non-resident and everything else. So,
yeah, that was my robot he was just talking about.
Yeah, Adam the tax man. We've got another question here from Anura.
Anura.
He obviously wants to go into the House of Commons.
Okay.
What's the biggest threat you can foresee from Brexit in terms of tax legislation? Well, you're not politically minded, so...
yeah, things are nicely to Brexit. Well done, Anura. Good on you.
Okay, so should I...
I know you're itching.
Right,
so
we're gonna make it 1 minute on Brexit.
Yeah.
Go on.
Get the stop clock.
So I think I'll leave Mitch and these guys to talk about on the tax side.
His name's Adam.
I'll go behind the camera again next time.
But in terms of legislation and Brexit, in fact, we were having this conversation a little bit earlier. Last year we had a seminar which we held, and we said, look, it's really unclear what's going to happen. We don't know if Article 50 is going to be triggered or not. Clearly Article 50 is going to be